Barbershop in Vicksburg. Table reservations at 601-695-3737 or 601-906-7084.
Hello, everyone, everybody. Welcome to the lounge, your 4 o'clock happy hour. I'm your host, Marlena. DannyBoy is out today. He'll be out for a little while. He's doing some traveling and moving, and you know how Danny works, so he'll be out for a while. But hey, you have me here today, and you're in for a great show, so I'm excited to be here. Hope everybody has had a wonderful Wednesday so far and a wonderful week. We're halfway there to the weekend. It's a holiday weekend, so I know everybody excited to come up on that and got great things planned. So definitely excited to be here today and get the show going. As always, we cover what's going on since we were here last week. And of course, the biggest thing on our agenda is Southern Soul Tuesday. We had another edition of Southern Soul Tuesday yesterday. And as we advertised, it was huge because we celebrated Dale Jefferson's birthday. He gave us his age. It's 50-something, but I don't want to call you out, Dale. So again, happy birthday to you. I know we had a wonderful time. We had 3 great performers yesterday. Jenny B, the hostess with the mostest, came in and shut things down yesterday with her performance. Of course, Candy Janae, you always in for a treat with everything. She did That's My Kitty and her new single, It Gets Hard. So y'all check her out. Check that out as well. And then Music Dog traveled all the way down to perform as well. Just a wonderful lineup. We had a great time and a lot of people in the business. So every Tuesday, when you get off work, if you don't have nothing else to do, stop by M Bar in Jackson, Mississippi. We have Southern Soul Tuesday every Tuesday from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's free to get in. You don't have to pay. It's during happy hour, so drinks are 2 for $1, and it has discounted on a lot of food items there. So be sure to check us out. We have a great lineup next week, and we'll have that information out for you as well. Speaking of the weekend, we got some great shows coming up this weekend. A couple I want to highlight. Let's see, where are we? Have if you're down on the coast at the Ground Zero Blues Club in Biloxi, September the 1st, DJ Show Entertainment and Lex Luger presents the pre-Labor Day Blues and Southern Soul concert. And guys, he has a great lineup on this show. On the 1st, he has Brian Ballou. He will be performing. He has Armani Smith and the Soul Power Band, Dia Grover, Willie Rich, Ayanna Patrice, TJ Eubanks, Lady T, and Miss Latrice. So if you're down on the coast this weekend, be sure to stop by Ground Zero Biloxi for that lineup. The doors open at 3 p.m. Show starts at 4. He does have advanced tickets, $15, and I don't know what the regular, but hey, that's general admission for those advanced tickets. And for tickets, visit groundzerobiloxi.com. Also visit Lex Luger on Facebook as well if you want to know more information about that show. Heading all the way over, heading up the road on 49. Platinum Boy Mitch and Mackie and Mike present A Taste of Simpson County. So if you're in the Mendenhall area, you be sure to check out this show. The gates open at 12 noon. Show starts at 4 p.m. This lineup features Lamoris Williams, Bridget Shields. Shout out to Bridget. She stopped by M-Bar last night, so shout out to you, Bridget. A1 and Lit T. DJ CEO Mo will be entertaining the crowd and controlling the crowd. $15 advance tickets and $25 at the gate. And for more information, you can call 601-291-4541, 601-748-5165, and 601-668-0160. And those are a couple of shows. There's many more shows going on this weekend, but those are a couple I want to shout out. Also on October the 12th. It's got about a month or so away. Experience Jackson presents the We Outside But Inside party. I think this show will be along the time of the fair. This is Miss Yolanda Singleton's show. And this show features LJ Eccles, Breeze Mr. Do Too Much, Big Yayo, FPJ, Frank Johnson, Jake Carter, and the Miss Candy Janae. She has a few places where you can purchase those tickets as well, or you can call or text 678-322-8098. So definitely want to keep you guys informed on all the entertainment going on coming up. And so, yeah, be sure to check those shows out. Also, again, be sure to stop by Southern Soul Tuesday at M-Bar every Tuesday, where you can have free live entertainment as well. So I think I've had some conversations. We've been talking about the R&B and the Southern Soul music, and we were discussing how we're not really listening to R&B, and the songs are a little bit different than what it used to be. I think we touched on it a little bit with Lenny last week when we interviewed him, and we asked him why was "Cause I Love You" still a relevant song today, and it was because the conversations I had, because people were more in love, I guess you could say, more expressive of love. Think about it. Think about your own family. How many of the elders in the family, or grandma, granddad, how many of those people are still married and say, I've been married 30, 40, 50, 60 years? And I guarantee it's not as many as probably as it used to be. And I think the culture just has changed so much with the way we see love and relationships, because the expectations has changed probably. And then don't get me wrong, you're not supposed to settle for anything, but people are imperfect people. So, having that love and being in love and making that type of music, we don't see as much these days. But I want to shout out Jay Lake. He sent us over one of his new single, and it's called Old School Love. And when I heard it, I was like, man, this song speaks exactly to what we've been talking about when it comes to R&B songs. And Jay Lake, he dabbled in Southern Soul. He's a producer, a writer, all of that. And he makes some amazing music. But I'm so excited that, to me, this song brought me back to an R&B feel. So I definitely going to check it out in a minute. Also, later on the show, I'm excited to have Attorney Yemi Kings. We're going to be talking to him. He is running for the Hinds County Court Judge. He is from Jackson, so we're going to talk to him about his journey. Just a little bit about Yemi. He is a graduate of Lanier High School. He also graduated from Tougaloo College. I'm happy to talk to him about that. My daughter just started Tougaloo, so she was excited for me to talk to him today about that and his journey. And he also is a graduate from Texas Southern University. We're going to talk about all his experience and things he's done since he's been back, came from school and back here in the city of Jackson. So definitely excited about that, and all of his awards, membership, and services. So definitely something to stay tuned. So like I was saying, we're going to just pause because I do want to get us into Jay Lake's song. Handy, I'm going to gear up to play this song. Now, other side, y'all come back, stay tuned. We're going to be talking to Attorney Yemi Kings. So be sure to call in if you have any questions for Yemi. That number is 601-948-5950. Again, that number is 601-948-5950. 948-5950. All right, we'll be back.
Let me talk to you. Listen, finding somebody who understands you. I'm talking about that thick and thin kind of love. Gonna be there when we going through my forever love. It seems like today all they wanna do is party. They really wanna party, but ain't nothing wrong with settling down and loving somebody. Somebody. I just want that old school love. Old love. Back in the days when love was unconditional. It was real different. That's the old school way. That's the old school way. I just want that old school love. Unconditional love. Back in the days when love was unconditional. Real good love. That's the old school way. Listen, seems like nowadays all the love's gone. When they said I do, you know they mean from now on. That old school love, that old school love is how it should be. That's the way I need it, baby. Something about that old school love. I think it rubbed off on me. It's on me. It's on me. Old school nothing like old school love. Back in the days when love was unconditional. It was good love. That's the old school way. That's the old school way. I just want that old school love. Grandma and granddaddy love. That was the good old. That's the old school way. It wasn't always good, we just didn't know it. They kept it real low. When mama and daddy had problems, when the kids around, they didn't show it. They never did show it, never did show it. Holding hands through the rough times, daddy wiped the tears from her eyes. He said, baby, it's gonna be okay. They stayed together 60 years. That's a long test of love. Give me that old school love. Old school love. Unconditional love. Forever kind of love. That's the old school way. I just want that old school love. Never leave it kind of love. Death do us part kind of love. Real good love. Real good love. That's the only way I can do it. I just want that old school love. Let me love you the right way. Right way, baby. Real good love. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. That old school way.
All right. Let me do this. All right, that was Jay Lake's Old School Love. So definitely, if you're feeling that, stream that, download that. Let me get our stuff going here. There we go. All right, and as I promised, we have with us Attorney Yemi Kings. Hey, Yemi, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, thank you for coming by. We started this when everything first started, talking about the campaign, and we're here now. So I'm so happy to have you here, so you can talk to us, and then we're gonna discuss your journey, and then where you are, and why you're the best candidate. You'll tell the people why you're the best candidate for the Hinds County Court Judge seat.
Okay.
So how is the campaign? We discussed it a little bit. How's it going?
Well, one word to sum it up right now is hot.
I can imagine 95, 99 degree weather trying to campaign.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. People always tell me, you don't look the same in your campaign picture.
Yeah.
So, yeah, lost a lot of weight out here in the sun campaigning.
We talked to Commissioner Stamps, and he told, I think we gave some everybody like, hey, you gonna lose some weight. So you see it now, huh?
Yes.
You see it now. Well, again, we're so glad to have you. Definitely, I did my research and stuff, so I definitely got some things I want to start with. Basically, where Yemi first started, and then where we are today. So, tell us, growing up, you went to Lanier, right?
Yes.
High school. Did you know always you wanted to be a lawyer? Was that something you wanted?
Yeah, I always wanted to be a lawyer. I knew in elementary school. I remember when I was going to Johnson in the 5th grade, I was bringing a briefcase to school.
Were you?
I was like, I'm just getting ready to be a lawyer.
Yeah. You already had your mind made up. You did nothing else. You didn't want to do.
I don't remember wanting to be anything else.
Really? What made you?
Well, I believe that my mother probably was always telling me,
okay,
you're gonna be a lawyer. You're gonna be a lawyer, because she had gone to law school. She didn't finish it at that time, so I think she put that in me, and I just took it and ran with it.
Yeah. Any besides your mom telling, did you see any influence or anybody that you grew up with?
Well, so I was born and raised in Georgetown, and the attorney that I knew in Georgetown was Judge Stokes. She was an attorney there, and we just called her Miss Stokes.
Yeah.
And I just remember, as I was growing up, my grandmother saying, "Well, Miss Stokes is a lawyer. She's from this neighborhood. You can do it too."
Yeah.
So I remember always hearing that. Then later on, my cousin Robert Smith became an attorney.
Okay.
And he became a mentor for me as well.
Yeah. So you saw Judge Stokes when you saw her journey from just being an attorney up into being a judge, right?
Yeah. I've been seeing her since elementary school, just always in the community, maybe at the store getting gas, and her just always being able to say, "Hey, I'm proud of you. Keep it up."
Okay. Yeah. Now look, let's talk, because like I told you, as I was researching, I said, well, you have a historic background, even tied to the station. I guess you can say a little bit. Talk about your grandfather. He was Reverend R.L.T. Smith.
Yes. My great grandfather, Reverend R.L.T. Smith. He was a civil rights activist. He worked with Dr. King, Medgar Evers, Charles Evers, Muhammad Ali. He was the first Black man to run for Congress after Reconstruction. He ran for the seat that the Honorable Benny Thompson holds now.
Okay.
And he lost that race, and he was not able to advertise because he was Black. And he then sued some of the major news stations, and he won, and that's how Black candidates end up having the right and the ability to advertise.
Thanks for your granddad. Yeah. Oh wow. What was it like growing up with him, and how did he inspire you?
Well, I always grew up hearing about him. He passed when I was in elementary school, but I do remember him. I just remember my mother, my grandmother always telling me stories about him, and then always meeting people that knew him and told me different stories about him. So I always felt inspired. I always felt like, okay, service is a part of what my family has done. I want to continue that.
Right, exactly, most definitely. Now you graduated from Lanier and you went to Tougaloo, right?
Yes.
Shout out Tougaloo. I can't talk bad about Tougaloo. My daughter's there, so we're Tougaloo. We're the Lou. What are you call them? I don't know. Eagles. They're Eagles. They're Eagles. Shout out to the Eagles. So, what made you make that decision? Hey, I'm gonna go to Tougaloo, or did you know your course home when it goes to school?
Well, initially, so I was in the band in high school. I played alto saxophone, and I thought I was going to go to Jackson State and be in the band.
See.
And then, so my cousin, Robert Schuler went to Tougaloo.
Okay.
I talked to him about it, and I learned that a majority of the Black lawyers in the state went to Tougaloo, and they had a good pre-law program.
Yeah.
Dr. Charles Holmes was there.
Okay.
He was my mother's pre-law advisor when she was going to Jackson State.
Okay.
So she was like, I think you need to go to Tougaloo, get in that pre-law program, and prepare you for law school.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
Yeah.
And it prepared me well.
Did it? Yeah. We can see. Because you, like I said, you already had your mind made up. You knew you were going to be a lawyer, so that was the best choice for you to go in that direction.
Yes. When I got to law school, I had classmates that went to all kind of Ivy League schools from all around the country. And a lot of them had no idea what law school was going to be like. And I was on day one. I was prepared. The pre-law program taught us what you need to know for law school.
Yeah. Now, to I guess students who like my daughter who's going, what is that process of, okay, you go do your 4-year undergrad and then getting ready for law school. Tell the people that are listening that's looking for that.
Yeah, so okay, you do get your undergrad degree. Then you have to study for the LSAT, the law school admission test. So you study for that, you take that test. A lot of people don't know the LSAT has not one question about law on that test at all.
Yeah.
It's like logic questions.
Okay, yeah.
So you take that test and you take that score, and then your GPA from your undergrad, and you apply to different law schools. And you get into law school.
Yeah.
All right. So once you go to law school, that's 3 years. Then it's another test called the bar exam.
Okay.
You got to take that in whatever state you want to practice law.
Mm-hmm.
So then you take the bar exam, pass that, then you become an attorney.
Got it. So you did all of that. I guess we'll move on to after you finished law school. You went to Texas Southern, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you decided you were gonna come back to Jackson, come back home. What was that decision like?
Well, my plan was always to come back home.
Okay.
I got into Texas Southern. Actually, that's where my mother went to law school.
Okay.
And I said, okay, my mother went here. She didn't finish. I'm gonna go to Texas Southern. I'm finished.
Yeah.
So I went there. My plan was always to come back. So I came back, opened up my law office in Georgetown at 2703 Martin Luther King Drive. I've been practicing law for the last 15 years.
So you have your own, and give them the name of this.
Yes, it's Kings and Associates. The address is 2703 Martin Luther King Drive. My office number is 601-831-6117.
So what type of, do you have any particular cases you take, or what?
Yes. Car accidents. I handle criminal defense cases outside of Hinds County because I'm a county prosecutor here in Hinds County.
Okay.
And you can't be a prosecutor and defense attorney in the same county.
Right.
So anywhere outside of Hinds County, I handle criminal defense cases. Then also family law cases, your divorces, child support, child custody, visitation.
Okay, so you used to working with like the youth and children and stuff like that, right?
Absolutely. Currently, I'm a youth court prosecutor for the Hinds County Youth Court. I've been in that role for the last 8 years. I'm also a youth court mentor. We try to help our young people that are going down their wrong path.
Yeah.
Frederick Douglass said, I believe he said it like, it's better to build a strong child than it is to fix a broken adult.
Oh,
so I try to put my time into working with the youth whenever I can.
Yeah, most definitely. And, definitely having somebody like that, like you said, being in this system and seeing it, but also trying to help, like you said, to stop the problem before it becomes an adult and have to deal with it later.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go from you being a lawyer and then deciding, okay, is this the first time you're running for the judge seat, or?
I ran for another county court judge seat in 2018.
Okay.
Yes.
And so this seat here was, like you said, Judge Loretta Cooper Stokes, her seat, and when she passed, I want to say the governor appointed someone in there.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, the governor appointed someone in their role. So everybody running, none of us have been elected.
Okay.
We're all running. The current person in the seat was appointed by Tay Reed.
Was appointed. Got it. So everybody's running, basically this first time running for this seat, right? So what made you look at this seat and say, hey, I wanna do that. I wanna be in that role?
Well, I have become accustomed to us having a judge in that seat that we could see in the community, that the kids could see in the community, because Judge Stokes continued to stay active and visible in Georgetown. So I want us to continue to have that. So I said, okay, I'm still in Georgetown. I have the qualifications to run, and I'm gonna go ahead and run. I mean, we had no idea Judge Stokes was gonna pass.
Yeah.
And it was just a situation where I said, okay, I gotta do this.
Yeah, because you being from the community, right? And you saw, again, seeing her journey, seeing her path, and then becoming, let me continue what she did, right?
Yes.
The work she did.
Yes, and and Judge Stokes, again, she was a judge that lived in the district.
Right.
I'm the only candidate that lives in the district.
Okay, now is that a requirement?
Yes, we have to live in Hinds County.
Okay.
But I'm the only one that lives in the district. So on election day, I'm the only candidate that can vote for his or herself in this election.
Oh,
I live in the district.
Okay. So this is sub-district 2, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So that includes Georgetown, where I'm from, Shady Oaks area, Sunset, Bel Air, Queens, goes over to West Jackson, then it goes down to South Jackson to about McDowell Road, and then Willowwood and Oak Creek.
Okay. So those are just those neighborhoods but that's what I think we had. We did have attorney Bridget Morgan on a few weeks ago. So she was saying that the seat will cover the whole county. It's just those districts are voting because it's like three different
It's 3 districts.
districts, right? Okay. And then who's in those roles now? I know with the appointed, I'm sorry, I have to get his name, but then there's 2 others, right?
Yeah, so one county court judge is Judge Carlin Hicks.
Okay.
And she handles the youth court docket. And then we have Judge Johnny McDaniels that handles the criminal docket.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So tell us about your experience and you coming back to Jackson after you finished law school, and what role did you come in when you first came back?
So initially I came back and I just opened up my law office. Straight out of law school. I did that. Then I went to work as a public defender.
Okay.
Because my cousin Robert told me that that's going to be a good way to get a lot of good experience because he worked as a public defender early in his career. So I worked as a public defender, got a lot of good experience. Then I said I want to get some experience on the other side.
Right.
So then I became a county prosecutor. Yeah. Which is what I am now. I'm the deputy county prosecutor for Hinds County, as well as the youth court prosecutor.
Okay. Tell everybody about some things you've experienced as a county prosecutor that you feel will benefit you or got you prepared, I guess, for this role.
Yes. Well, I'm the candidate that has worked on every type of case, every area that the county court handles. So county court handles youth court. Okay. I'm the only candidate that has worked as a youth court prosecutor and a youth court defense attorney, and also a youth court mentor. The county court also handles a criminal docket. I'm the only candidate that has worked as a county prosecutor, a prosecutor in the county court, prosecuting those felony cases, as well as a defense attorney and a public defender in the county court. Also, I'm a candidate. I've got civil experience. I've worked as a civil plaintiff's attorney, suing people for money. I also have worked as a civil defense attorney. Right. I've represented individuals, businesses, government agencies, school districts. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any particular case? I know, because like you said, you're going to be working with the youth in this court. And then being a prosecutor or a county court prosecutor, having any situations where youth have come through and you already sort of, did that work with working with youth through the court system? Well, yeah, so as a youth court prosecutor, I'm always supporting and recommending, second chance programs. Okay. Intervention programs, and I go a step further. The youth court has an intervention program, and I actually come in and work as a mentor. Okay. With the young people. So I've been doing that. Judge Carlin Hicks is doing an excellent job as the youth court judge. I'm not gonna try to come in and be the youth court judge. Right. I'm gonna ask her what I can do to help. Right. I'm definitely gonna continue to be a mentor with the youth court program. Yeah, definitely. And then as a judge, because you see a lot of them, and I think we had the conversation with Richard, like coming in, and is that a case where they trying them as adults, or are they giving a youth an outlet to sort of not be thrown in a system where they can have those chances? Well, we have laws that determine which cases go into youth court and which cases go into adult court. And it's very important that we have judges that understand the law and know what the law is. There's certain cases that don't go to youth court, and that's the law. Right. Okay. What kind of cases are those? For instance, if a firearm is used, like let's say a carjacking, a murder, aggravated assault, a crime that carries life imprisonment or the death penalty, those kind of cases, they go to adult court. They don't come to youth court at all. Okay. And then so the judge, once they, like you said, in this role, so if a case like that came before you, you would just you would handle those cases, right? Or how did that process work? Well, the youth court judge, Judge Hicks, handles the youth court docket, but those cases that don't go to youth court, they, youth court won't see those cases. Right, they won't see jurisdiction. Okay. Yeah. So how would they, I guess I'm trying to see, how do they come to you? What's that process of something that's not in youth court? How did it come to you? Those particular cases. Well, if the case is not in youth court and there's no jurisdiction, that case won't be in youth court. Okay. And I say this, so as a youth court prosecutor, there are certain cases that do come to youth court, and we've never recommended that we send one of those cases from youth court back to adult court. We've never done that. Okay, got it. Okay, gotcha. See, that's what because we've seen a lot of stuff going on with more of the children. Under, I guess, the youth is under 18. So we're seeing a lot of that happening. And then wondering, okay, what's going on? And it has been a lot of stuff with firearms, whether they kill, so having somebody there, in that role because like you said, So, it's just important. So in a case like that where a youth is charged with murder, that case, it does not go to youth court.
Yeah.
And you got to be certain you have judges that understand what the law is on that.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay. Well, you've, like I said, becoming a lawyer, and you had your own practice, and you went to where you are now. So currently, are you still in the prosecutor on the county level? Is that
Yes.
what you're
Well,
doing?
I still work on both sides. I'm
Okay.
still a county prosecutor
Mhm.
and a youth court prosecutor. But I still have a private practice
Mhm.
where I handle defense cases in other counties, and I still work as a public defender in Warren County in Vicksburg.
Right.
So I think my experience of having worked on both sides.
Right. Being able to see it from both perspectives.
Yes.
Yeah. And how does it, which one do you have a preference? Do you prefer one over the other, or both, or are they both experiences for you?
Well, I like the prosecuting side better. As a defense attorney, as a public defender, I would often have cases where I feel like my clients deserve a second chance or deserve a break for whatever reason. And I have to pretty much beg the prosecutor about it and hope that they, will go my way on it. And I say, you know what? I have the opportunity to be able to make those decisions and make those recommendations when I see folks that need a second chance and need some help. And I can make those recommendations myself, and I had to beg somebody to do it.
Yeah.
So from that aspect, I like the role of a prosecutor better.
Right. Okay. Prosecutor better. Talk about the community, and what role does, I know you're saying you being from here, right?
Yes.
And growing up in especially the Georgetown community, and coming from all this civil rights, and all this history that you have. How does seeing that, growing up in that type of an environment, play a role in you becoming Hinds County Court Judge?
So I always say, nobody can come in your house and tell you what you need in your refrigerator.
Okay,
you know better than anybody else what your house needs.
That's true.
So I believe that, being from the community, living in the community, you have a different type of understanding and a different lived experience of what your community is going through, what your community needs. And I think that's important.
Right. Because you see it firsthand. You
Yes.
live in it. You like I said, you live in it, and your office is in it, right? So you literally in that area, especially like I said, that district. So you're seeing the needs of the community.
Yes, and I'm experiencing the same issues the community is experiencing because I'm right there. In 2021, Thanksgiving Day, we were having Thanksgiving dinner, heard some gunshots outside, and looked outside. A young man he was gunned down in the front yard.
Wow,
So I had to go over and try to assist him, and had to get a sweater, try to stop the bleeding. He had been shot with an AK-47.
Oh man!
And I had to, render aid to him until the police got there. So just being in the community and experiencing what my people experience, I think it just gives me a different experience.
Yeah. But I guess, look back to when you first started, when you're after law school and you start practice. How has things changed? And that could be laws or the things changed from then up until now. What changes have you seen over the years, especially stuff that you had to prepare for?
Yeah. So obviously, the laws change all the time. When I first started practicing in 2009, I would see a lot of people going to prison for possession of marijuana.
Okay.
A lot. And then now, we have medical marijuana. Things become a little more lean in that regard.
Right.
And people are not just trying to throw everybody away.
Right. Because something that was once illegal and people are serving time for, right?
Right.
Now people are selling it in stores. So, and as a lawyer, how do y'all balance that, especially as a judge too? Is that something you think a judge, or I don't know, you don't, when it comes to the marijuana, but
I can tell you this. So as a county prosecutor, we prosecute the cases from, for instance, Jackson State Police.
Okay.
So many times I have a young person come through the court and they're charged with a felony for possession of marijuana. And this is something that was personal use.
Okay.
They aren't selling drugs. And I'm more inclined to, I recommend second chances. I might even say, okay, look, we'll put you in a program where you can have a misdemeanor and get this expunged from your record. Sometimes they say, look, I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor one day. This is going to ruin my life. You don't want to do that. We're not here to just ruin people's lives, and we don't have to.
Right, because people are so quick to, like I said, just in regards to the marijuana aspect, and what I've seen, people are so quick to say, "Oh, you dealing?" They go ahead and try to go straight to the more harsher punishment for something like that. When in our actuality, the person really is just using it for whatever their personal use is. And as a judge, I guess you would have to you would need somebody who would be more, not trying to just immediately throw the book at someone as opposed to understanding the situation in front of you.
Yeah. So a judicial candidate, we can't pledge how we would rule on certain cases.
Right.
But the law allows a lot of discretion on what you can do. Sometimes the law may say this person can go to jail for no time or 5 years. It's a lot of discretion in there. All that is legal. You need a judge that's gonna do the right thing.
Right, exactly. And like I said, going by the law, but I don't know. And maybe you can, as a lawyer too, because you again being on both sides, seeing where you could put two different cases up against two different people, and one may have gotten a more lesser, and not sometimes right, sometimes not, but one may have gotten a more lesser, and the other person got the more. And sometimes I don't know if you can speak to that. Does it boil down the economy, if they can afford it? How do those decisions are made when you see two different situations but two different outcomes?
Yeah, I hate to see that happen. I'm not going to allow anything like that to happen in my courtroom. I mean, you're going to get equal justice.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, and I guess being people that your voters, when they look for that, they are looking for somebody that, hey, if my child or whoever family member come before you, you gonna look at the case as it is, but also consider, like, so you have to follow the law.
Yeah.
But are there other considerations that you can bring in?
There are. So on the other side, as a county prosecutor, one thing I focus on are those violent felony cases, those murders, things like that. And when someone comes into county court and they're charged with a violent crime, I'm usually having to argue that this person not be given a bond because they're a danger to the community.
Okay.
They went and shot somebody in the middle of a public street, shot up cars, shot innocent people.
Right.
This person is a danger to the community.
Right.
I'm going to argue to the judge that this person not be given the bond.
Right. Somebody not showing remorse. Right. Yeah. No. And definitely, right. We don't want to have anybody out there who's not thinking twice about other people or human life. Right. So definitely. Share with us a success story where your legal either expertise, I know you talked about the second chance program and stuff, but do you have any particular story that's made a difference in whether it's client life or any other person that's been before in a situation where you on the prosecutor side?
So, but I talk about one from the defense side. So one recent one, gentleman came to my office. He had been a convicted felon for 20 years.
Okay.
And he's a business owner. And he had been trying to get a grant. And he couldn't get one because of checking that box of being a felon. And the expungement law was changed a few years ago, and it allows a lot more offenses to be expungable.
Right.
And it was a sale of cocaine charge.
Okay.
And we got that expunged.
Yeah.
And he's no longer a convicted felon.
Yeah.
And he came by my office and showed me his grant paperwork. He was so happy.
Yeah.
So I was glad to see that happen for him.
Right. And it definitely, like you said, it's one of those situations. I don't people do stuff a long time ago and they've grown through it or whatever, but that shouldn't follow them. Yeah. So I know being an attorney, being able to assist people with that type of situations is very rewarding.
Oh yeah. Then as a prosecutor, had a young man that came into court and he had a possession of marijuana charge. And this young man specifically said that he wanted to be a doctor. He was a college student. So I said, you know what, I'm going to recommend a program where you can get this expunged from your record.
Yeah.
This was years ago. So he came by the office and showed me where he had graduated, got his master, and he's getting ready to go to med school.
Okay.
And we gave that young man a second chance. And he took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
And had we not done that and said, no, you got found with it, we're going to convict you and all this, that wouldn't be an option for him. Right,
exactly.
And there's a lot of success stories like that.
Yeah, and I'm sure that makes a difference in people's lives, because not only that one thing you did for them, but it's a lasting impact for years to come for them to do, be able to do things that they weren't able to do, years before. So most definitely. Explain with the Hinds County Court Judge. Explain I know not only we talk about the youth court and other, but people lawsuits and stuff. Explain those things that other cases you'll have.
Yeah, so county court has a civil docket where you're suing folks for up to $200,000.
Okay.
And it would be those kind of disputes where, let's say, somebody worked on your house and they didn't do the work, they didn't complete the work, or worked on your car and didn't complete the work. And then also on the civil docket, the county court handles appeals from justice court. So let's say you went to justice court regarding a small claims matter or an eviction, and you weren't satisfied with their ruling, you want another judge to hear it. That's when you're gonna come up to the county court. The county court judge will hear those civil disputes.
Right. Do you have experience with doing those things?
Absolutely, absolutely. So as far as the Justice Court appeals, the landlord-tenant matters, I have a lot of experience in that. I've been a real estate broker for several years.
Yeah.
I got a lot of experience with real estate law.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I know, like I said, being able to, in all these cases, being able to have that experience really matters when you have these situations, and knowing the law, of course. But yeah, having that experience really matters when you have those type of cases.
Yes.
Most definitely. I guess, what do you do when you're not practicing law? Oh, I think we got a caller. All right, 1 second. Let me see. We got a caller. Caller, you on the air?
There is no call in the queue.
No.
Thank you.
All right. All right, we're gonna wait. I think we got a call coming through. But again, you guys, one. All right. Hey, caller, you're on the air on the Lounge Radio Show with Marlena with guest Yemi King. You have a question?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What's
I
your question?
understand they are making great strides with a lot of African Americans that have felony charges on their record. But nobody has addressed the presidential campaign where a felony is running for president. And that is on our books in Mississippi, that this person can't be put on the presidential docket to be voted on. And nobody is making any qualms or warrants about that. I don't want to come by y'all and congratulate and give an award, but I want it fair across the board.
Most definitely. So true. I'll let Attorney King address that. But thank you for your call.
Thank you.
And then address that. So she's saying there's a law in the book where, so we know the presidential race, I'm sure that's what she's speaking of. We have the candidates now, Republican candidate is Donald Trump, President Trump, and then we have Vice President Kamala Harris on the Democratic ticket. And he has been convicted in 30-something felonies.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying that in Mississippi that he don't supposed to be on the ticket because he has those felonies. Are you able to answer that?
Well, we can't speak on political races, but if that's the case, sounds like there's something that needs to be addressed by the Attorney General.
Okay. So what do you suggest that those who are concerned about something like that, they need to reach out to the Attorney General?
I think so.
Yeah, reach out for more information. That's a good question, though. So I'm not privy to all the laws on that, but yeah, if you are a political figure and you know about that, chime in. If the caller wants to know if the president he shouldn't be able to be on the presidential on the ballot because of those felony convictions.
But I mean, I can say this. I mean, it just seems strange that, you know, you can run for president with all these felonies, and then there's so many things. Yeah. I know people that have a felony conviction. There's so many things they can't do.
A lot of stuff, right? And travel, all kind of stuff. They can't even vote. They're on some cases. Yeah. Can't even vote. Yeah, most definitely. What do you think sets you apart from the other candidates running for Hinds County Court Judge?
Yes, I think my experience, my youth court experience, my experience mentoring, my county court experience as a prosecutor, my defense experience, public defender experience, and my civil experience.
Okay.
I've sat in every seat in the county court. Mm-hmm. I'm the only candidate that can say that.
Okay.
And I'm the only candidate that actually lives in the district. Mm-hmm. I think all of that matters.
Yeah, definitely matters, you know. And like I said, you know, experience all of that, but then also, I guess that extra being in the community, and like you said, the only one that can actually vote for yourself because you're in the district, that definitely opportunity. All right, we got another question. Hi, caller, you're on the Lounge Radio Show with Marlena with our guest Yemi Kings, Attorney Yemi Kings. What's your question?
Hi, Yemi. My question is, if you have had the expungement for unlawful use of a weapon in 1999. So I went to try to get expungement. I did get some of it, but when I went to try to apply for a gun permit, they told me no. And I found out that there's an error within the court with the clerk. They told me I have to pay another $500 to get that removed.
So you got an expungement. You got an order of expungement.
Yes.
And do you know if that order was sent to the FBI and and all those places that they have to go to?
I believe so because the FBI rejected.
They rejected the order?
They rejected it, and when I went to try to investigate, I found out that there's an error in my name, and therefore it's still listed in another municipality
Okay.
as an error. And so I was told that I have to go and pay for a whole new case to get this taken care of when I indeed had the expungement.
Did you file the expungement yourself?
No, I went through an attorney.
Okay, well, let me give you my office number. Just give me a call about it tomorrow. I'll see what we can do about it. But my office number, let me know when you're ready.
Okay, if I can, if you could share your number,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
I can call you back.
Okay, 601
Yes.
831 6117. And just go ahead and get a copy of that expungement order and your sentencing order. Have all that together.
Copy of the order and sentencing.
Yes, ma'am. Sentencing order and expungement order.
Okay, now, is this a cell number to reach you on?
That's my office number.
The office number?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is the hours that's available?
9 to 5.
9 to 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I will reach you at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. All right, we got another one handy. Yeah, I'm glad they got questions. They see you need your expertise today. Most definitely. And it sounds like that's do we got another one handy? No? One? Okay. All right. Hi, caller. You're on the Lounge Radio Show with Marlena with our guest Attorney Yemi Kings. What's your question?
Hello, yes. I was just sitting here listening to your show, and you're doing a good job, Miss Marlena. But I wanted to just bring attention to something. You see what Yemi King just did, how he helped somebody in the community. That's what he always doing. He's always out helping people in the community. He does not get enough credit for that. Whether or not you going to the office or not, or you are sitting there at the Walmart grocery store or something with a person, he's always going over and beyond trying to help the people in the community. So, and I'm glad that he is from our community, of our community, by our community, and he has my vote.
Oh wow!
Thank you
So
so
that's
much.
amazing. Look, your work speaks. Like I tell people, we talk to the artists all the time. I hate to bring the music in it, but it is with anybody in general. A lot of times you don't have to go ask questions how you doing. If people call or people give you that feedback without you ever even asking, like, I wonder how good of a job I'm doing, right? That speaks for the work that you're doing. So. Definitely excited. Yeah, if you have any calls, we got a few more minutes. We're on at 601-948-5950. It's turned from Yemi coming on telling us his journey, and now you got some consulting going on.
I'm going to send you a bill.
Then you can say, hey, y'all, look, we're going to invoice. Yemi going to invoice us. So most definitely. I guess talk about now, we got what I want to say 60, 70, how many days? 60 some days, maybe a little bit between now to the election. What do you want people to know about Yemi Kings? And we just had a call in as well, but just your journey and what, again, if you could give a 1 minute or less I guess elevator pitch about your experience, what would you want people to know?
I want people to know a vote for Yemi Kings is a vote for a qualified candidate that is from your community. A vote for Yemi Kings is a vote for a qualified candidate that still lives in your community.
Yeah.
And a vote for Yemi Kings is a vote to continue to have a judge that's from your community. Our last elected judge was Judge Larita Cooper Stokes, and she lived in our community. I want us to continue to have that. We have people in our community that's good enough to be a judge.
Yeah.
And so I think we got to exercise our vote, and we can show that.
Right.
But most importantly, definitely get out and vote.
Get out
and vote.
Exactly.
And come to jury duty.
Oh.
I've seen we had trials set, and you have a hard time having enough jurors to have a trial sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So vote and go to jury duty.
And so and then when you talk about it in community, I'm glad you did bring that up too, because we tell people when, of course, when it comes to a judge and you need those people and you need the right people in those seats. But what can a community do when it comes to, when you talk about crime, or what can a community do, and just in your opinion, to help their community and prevent a lot of this? What are some things you would guide them to do?
So like the police say, see something, say something.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this that's an easy thing to say. And sometimes I find myself, I went to a rental property of mine one time, and I saw somebody that broke in and stole some stuff.
Okay.
I didn't even call the police.
Okay.
I probably should have made a report, but I said I didn't even bother. But when you see something, say something.
Say something, right? Yeah, because that's one of those taking charge of your community, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the people's community. It's the people.
Sometimes you can easily just say, you know what can I do?
Yeah.
What does it matter me calling? But we gotta take our community back.
Yeah, most definitely. And then that goes back to, like you said, that's what your grandfather and Megger and Martin, that was the point of not only, for us, they wanted Black people to, and civil rights for Black people, but also they were in the communities and trying to make the communities better as well.
Yeah, and I try to sit back and just think and hypothesize about what's going on with our young people, what's going on with our kids.
Yeah.
And one problem I see is the music they listening to. And I know I sound like the folks that I called old people when I was younger. But have you heard of drill music?
I've sort of heard, I think so. But break it down to
y'all get a chance to look up drill music. This is music where all they talk about is killing people.
Okay.
I'm gonna kill my enemies. I'm gonna shoot up the mother's house, the grandmother's house. Then I'm gonna go to your funeral, and it's just crazy.
Is this any particular genre of music?
It's a type of rap music.
It's a rap,
called drill music.
Okay.
A lot of young people ride around listening to this really just demonic stuff all day.
Yeah, because we are what we put in our brains every day. So if you listen to something repeatedly, telling you people don't understand the psychology of listening to something over and over again, then it begin to normalize it in a way. Yeah. So you're saying with the young people, we got to be careful about what type of music especially our kids. Like,
I mean, that's just part of it. I mean, that's not just the general problem, but definitely, we got lack of mentorship is a problem as well.
So calling on the community to be more mentors to young people.
Yes.
Because I mean, if we allowing TV and social media or TikTok and music to raise them, and we don't have any people there, right? Then they're gonna go to what's getting their attention most.
Yeah. So the principal of Johnson Elementary called me for the first day of school, and she said, we only have 2 men on staff at the entire school. Would you mind coming just to be a presence for the first day of school? And just got a couple men to do that. So mentorship and that male presence is very important.
Most definitely. Yeah, it matters. It matters. That's why I said I keep bringing up your granddad. I keep bringing up the men that led the way, but that's what it was. They stepped up and did what they had to do without any kind of fear. I'm not saying they weren't, but they did it anyway.
It's just a different time now.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah, and I see that. I still, I think still we become more relaxed on stuff instead of a lot. You don't see as many people stepping up and want to make a difference. And so when everybody's more relaxed and anything, I'm not gonna say anything goes, but it's sort of in that time, then you'll just sit back and say, well, it's not my problem. As long as it ain't over here, it's not my problem until it becomes our problem, right?
And it's our problem.
Yeah, definitely. Well, like I said, I want you to tell everybody how they can, and I've enjoyed it. Thank you so much. If you're able to come back in within the next 60 days, come back. We would love to have you. But tell everybody how they can follow you, your website, and get in touch with you. Of course, like the number, give your number out again. And then anything you want them to know as they head to the polls on November.
Okay, well, I just give my office number, 601-831-6117. And I'm asking you on November the 5th to vote for Attorney Kings, and a candidate that lives in your community, that's from your community, and going to be for your community. Right. So I'm asking you to vote and your support. So
November the 5th, guys, get out and vote. Again, it's one of those we can't really complain, and you can, but then complaining is not going to make a difference. So when you actually have something you can do about it, whether it's your vote, getting out, stepping up, making a difference in your community. So. Again, and how you on Facebook and all that, and Attorney, I think Yemi Kings on Facebook, guys, and your website. Give them the website.
It's Kings Law LLC.
All right, and then find out all the information about Yemi. If you don't know, if you're just new to it, you can find out a lot of information there. So I certainly appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
I enjoyed having you here, and we look forward to having you back anytime. I'm sure we got a lot of calls, got a lot of legal questions, so we'll probably just have questions for Yemi King one day. So thank you so much.
You will.
All right, Handy, we're gonna go on and close out for the day. But Handy, well, look, Handy, We're going to go to wrap us up. We're going to end today. That's it. Thank y'all so much. Thank you for tuning into the Lounge, your 4 o'clock happy hour with Marlena. Have a great Wednesday.